On item number 1, exchange of land, Pocono Lane, Public Act 07218, is there any member of the public that wishes to address the council on item number 1? Sir, would you please come up and just state your name and address for the record when you go to the microphone? Yes, please. And if you have a commonly difficult last name, would you please spell it for us?
My name is Bob Layout, L-A-Y-O-K, 6 Mountain View Terrace. I'm located across where the new proposed road is to come. I have more formatted questions that obviously you're not going to answer questions to me, but I just want to state them and see if they can be answered sometime down the line during the whole process or whatever. Which some of them may not make sense, but I'll tell them anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. First thing, water tabling. I'm wondering any kind of construction or digging or anything would affect the wells that we have, or septic or any of that type of thing. More so for my neighbor across from me than myself. But the other people to the road, they have a city sewer, city water, so I think they're okay.
That's one question. And as to a big thing is signage, road signage. There's the way I was looking at the map, there was going to be a do not enter sign coming out of the road. But I did not see anything, if I missed it, as to a stop sign, a yield, or anything to that effect coming into our road. My question is, who would mainly have the right of way? As it stands now, we have about approximately 400 apartments that come out onto our road, and there's no sign, no nothing. They almost got nailed a few different times. Cars, they just don't look, they just fly right out. So that's a concern, one concern. And then I don't know, as to signage near this road, there's little children in our neighborhood. If there's like a children are playing caution sign, it could be put up or anything like that. And then actually, which I think is state, I was wondering if there could be better signage on Route 6 going west. What we have is, coming up our road, we have tractor trailers. They'll come up the road, past the point, then they got to back all the way down. Now I can see that compounded with this new road being more of a problem. And school bus comes up there too, but I think maybe that can come around on a new road. Then I was wondering if Mountain View would be widened up the road at any point. Then as being the traffic light that's there now, will the time on the light be increased due to the higher volume of traffic? Especially morning hours. That's the killer. And then I was wondering what kind of new street lighting might be put up and how invasive it might be to us. And also city sewer, city water. We don't have it on our side of the road. I'm wondering if that would be brought up as part of the construction that and I just found out this morning that there was a zone change that I didn't know anything about. I was not notified. I checked the records at City Hall this morning. Only 2 people were to be notified for some reason, my neighbor and myself, and I never got the notice. Just for notation on that. Not that probably us 2 could do much, but we did not get notified. And then I was just wondering, with the new zoning, if there would be a buffer between the commercial and the residential. And that should do it. That's pretty much my concerns.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any other member of the public that wishes to address the committee?
Christine Wajarczyk, B, and the boy, O-J, A-R-C-Z-Y-K. I'm the neighbor. I'm directly adjacent next to this new street. I'm, first of all, very concerned that I was never notified. It's not something that both of us could have missed. It just seems that the city should have had a better obligation to let us know that all this was happening. Apparently it's been in the works for over 18 months. I found out 48 hours ago. Mr. Layout mentioned the well, whether it would affect the well, as well as septic, and what obligation does the city have if it is affected. I see from the map that there's a proposed sidewalk. It's not on my side of the property, however, which is a concern, and what will be in between my property line and the street. Is there going to be a fence of some kind? Is there going to be something? Is that my obligation to put up a fence? And as you all met my daughter, although she will not be running in the yard by herself, it's just that's a public, I understand the public safety concern that brought this whole thing up, but what I don't understand is why my safety and the safety of my family is less important than the people on Pocono Lane. Just another note of interest on my own. Yes, Route 6 is extremely busy, but I haven't seen so much of a problem of people getting out. I explored myself up there in the last 2 days, a couple times, and I did it today at rush hour. And there wasn't yes, I realized that I was only there twice. And I went this morning to Fast Freddy's, and I go to Fast Freddy's all the time, and I don't ever see a line of 6 or 7 people waiting. And I understand there's approximately 400 apartments that are on 2 Mountain View Terrace in the back Avalon property. And I don't know how many people live up the Pocono Lane area, but it seems to me that if there's as much traffic as everyone seems to think there is, how is this traffic going to be organized at this intersection? Is there going to be stop signs? Is there going to be yield signs? Who has the right of way? Is Mountain View Terrace, which is the main street, are they going to have a right of way? There has to be some kind of signage to ensure just vehicles that are on the street as well. I'm extremely disappointed that I wasn't notified. My husband and I just put over $30,000 into improving our house to make our property value go up. We had considered moving, we decided to stay, and as a result of that, we made all these improvements within the last year. But we had known about it, we would have done it. Absolutely would have done it. We would have sold it for whatever we could have gotten, and we would have been gone. And now my property value is extremely at risk. It's going to go way down because if there's so much traffic going by, it's obviously going to go down. And I just think that there should have been a better obligation for the city. There's no way that I would have missed that mail, or both of us, my neighbor, missed the mail as well. And my last concern is the trees that are in the area. Obviously, they're going to have to be touched, but some of those trees are mine. The trees kind of intermesh, and do they plan on touching my trees? And if so, what obligation or what is the compensation involved? And I understand I can't stop this per se, but there's some of it's on my property. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other member of the public wish to address the council on item number 1? Mr. Tavershek?
Good evening, Mr. President of the Council, distinguished members. Good to see you all tonight. Joe Tavershek, 110 Easttown Road, Danbury. I'm just here really to express my support of this proposal. I think that may not be a perfect solution, but having studied the issue, and I truly believe that it is an issue of public safety for these folks that live off Pocono Lane, that this is probably the best that we can do. I think that it's good to hear the considerations and concerns from some of the people down on Mountain View Terrace, and I think that a lot of those concerns can be addressed with the signage and perhaps some kind of buffer being left behind with currently existing trees or possibly new trees that could be planted maybe by the city. Those are details that I know you'll look into and do your best to address. And I'm confident that you can address many of those concerns. But I think that this is a real public safety issue for those people up there. I've experienced it. I've gone up there. I've tried to merge with traffic. To imagine having to do that every morning with kids in the car and, having to be forced to take a right onto 84 because of, your concerns for your children and their safety. I mean, it's an intersection that just needs to be addressed. I think that the only way to do it is by giving those people access to Mountain View Terrace. And so I applaud your efforts to try to address this concern, and I fully support it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Any other member of the public wish to name?
My name is Christine Russock. That's Russock, and I live at 12 Pocono Lane. And I'm just here just to briefly state my support, solely speaking as a resident of Pocono Lane. I'm sympathetic to the concerns of people on Mountain View, but as a longtime resident of Pocono Lane, I have in the past very serious concerns about the safety of exiting Pocono Lane. It is compounded by the side entrance to Fast Freddy's, which people continue to exit. So that, in combination with the traffic on Route 6, particularly during rush hour, it can be a very dangerous situation. I have a son who has turned 16 and will soon be driving, and for that reason also I have very serious concerns about the exiting of Pocono Lane. I'm very grateful for the support that the residents of Pocono Lane have received from Joe Taversack and for Tom Sadi also, as well as other public figures. But I would urge you to please proceed with this plan in some form. I think the residents would have preferred a light at the end of Pocono Lane and Route 6, but since the state feels that that is not feasible, this is, I think, about the best solution for the residents of Pocono Lane. So I would just urge you to please proceed with the plan in whatever form you can, just for the purely the safety issues for the residents of Pocono Lane. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Russock. Is there any other member of the public that wishes to address the council? Ann?
My name is Louise Strohmeier. I live at 28 Sunrise Road, and I'm here to speak in favor of the proposal. Approximately 15 years ago, this has been a problem even before Fast Freddy's. We submitted a petition to have the traffic light moved, and that was not brought about. But now that Fast Freddy's is there, it is almost impossible to get out without just crossing your fingers as you come out of there, especially during rush hour, because vehicles just pull right out of Freddy's, and I have no way of seeing even whether there's traffic coming. I am concerned about the possibility of traffic, as was brought up earlier, coming out of that side entrance on Freddy's onto Pocono, because as it is that during rush hour or lunchtime, they come out there, and again, it's a serious traffic hazard. But we definitely need to have some means of getting out without having to wonder if we're going to survive on the as we exit. Thank you.
Any other member of the public wish to, sir?
Hi, my name is Dennis Fitzgerald. I live at 37 Pocono Lane. My wife and I have lived there for 24 years. We've driven up and down that road many, many times. We have 4 children. I tried to teach them all how to drive, but driver's ed did most of it. But I did have the thrill of taking them out for the first time out of there many times. And I can tell you, it's a real issue. It doesn't have to be to a point where somebody gets seriously hurt. And I've seen my father, who's going close to 80, trying to maneuver his way out. As the lady just mentioned, it goes back further than Fast Freddy. It's gotten to a point where, as neighbors, we used to line up single file behind each other. Now we have people coming out and pulling up alongside the left of us trying to get out to make the right, and now we have to duel with that car in a 1-lane, 2 cars in a lane. Because a lot of people going into the gas station are not from the area. They may be just coming up for business. They don't live there. I feel bad for our neighbors over in Mountain View. They have some real viable concerns, and I do feel for them. The state was apparently very short-sighted. They could have moved the light back to in front of Pocono. People in Mountain View could have gotten out easy, but unfortunately at this point, I guess that's not to be. I'm strongly in favor of this, and I wholeheartedly recommend you take a look at it before somebody gets seriously hurt. Thank you.
Sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this administration for bringing that subject to light. For 30 years we're waiting for that.
Please give your name and address.
My name is Nicholas Maddox, and I live in 32 Sunrise Road.
Trouble you to spell your last name for us?
I'm sorry?
May I trouble you to spell your last name for us?
It's Metaxas. Metaxas. The first name is Nicholas. Thank you. So, for many years, we make attempts to notify the administration to do something about us. And there was some talk here and there, but nothing. This is the first time, seriously, the town of Danbury brings this subject to light, and I appreciate that. And most of my concern is safety. That's the safety. Although I'm an old man and I'm not going out to work 8 o'clock in the morning, if I had to go, there's a big line in the morning and everybody goes out, you know, and even the other hours is getting difficult to go across the street. So, in fact, I'm wearing the belt always, the safety belt, but I never do the belt before I cross that street because I'm afraid somebody's coming from the other side. And
The police chief sitting right there.
So, I'm very grateful that you brought this subject to. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other member of the public that wishes to address the council on item number 1? Ma'am?
Good evening. My name is Diane Fleischer, Fleischer. I live at 21 Sunrise Road, and I'm here to express the fact that I am in favor of this occurring. As Nick had said, it's been a safety issue for us. I've lived in the neighborhood 28 years. It's now gotten to the point in the morning, for example, when I go to work, there's usually about 3 or 4 cars in front of me, at least that many lined up at Fast Freddy's, and 1 or 2 coming through the illegal side entrance, coming through the side entrance out of it illegally, all at the same time. And trying to converge out onto Route 7 is extremely difficult. It's dangerous because you can't always see oncoming traffic as a result of this. So I am very much in favor of this. Thank you.
Is there any other member of the public that wishes to address the council on item number 1? Sir?
Good evening. My name is Tom Mascola. I live at 15 Deepwood Drive, and I just want to express my... Spell your last name first, please. Sure, it's Mascola. And I just want to say that I believe that the traffic situation at the intersection of Route 6 and Pocono is a true hazard for everyone living back there on Pocono. My son, who is almost 16, will probably be driving during the next year, and I'm very concerned when he does begin to drive about him being able to get out there, safely. I know myself in the morning when I have to get on Route 6 over there, I need to get into the left-hand lane, and it's hard to find a big enough brake to let you get out there. Even when you think you have a brake, you've got like maybe a car in the left-hand lane. Sometimes that car is moving over to the right-hand lane to get onto 84. So, it's treacherous. And for someone who's a new driver or elderly, it's a real problem.
Is there any other member of the public that wishes to address the council on item number 1? Any other member of the public wishing to address the council on item number 1? Any other member wishing to address the council on item number 1? Okay, seeing none. Ladies and gentlemen, I just will tell you for information, November 6th will be our common council meeting. And we are waiting reports from planning. When we have those reports, we will be taking this matter up at the November 6th council meeting. And I encourage you, please come to that meeting. We will get some of your questions answered for you there, if not before that. Okay, thank you very much.